My name is Nathan Cole, and for most of my life, the vineyard had been the heartbeat of our family. My grandfather planted those vines with his own hands, my father expanded them, and I grew up among the rows of grapes, watching the seasons shape our lives. But over the years, bad management, drought, and rising debts had pushed us to the edge of bankruptcy. My parents, proud but careless, refused to adapt to new methods or modern marketing. When I tried suggesting changes, they brushed me off with, "You're too young to understand business." The truth was, I understood it better than they thought. I worked in finance for years, saving every dollar I could, not for luxury, but for the day I could make a real difference. That day came sooner than expected. It was early autumn, and the vineyard was weeks away from collapse. Bills piled up, creditors called non-stop, and suppliers refused to deliver without payment. My father paced the fields, muttering about selling a portion of the land, a move that would destroy our legacy. My mother tried to stay hopeful, but her eyes told a different story. I couldn't stand by and watch it crumble. So without telling anyone, I cashed out my savings, emptied my retirement account, and transferred everything to cover the debts, order supplies, and pay the seasonal workers. It wasn't just money, it was every plan I'd made for my future. When I told my family what I'd done, they didn't react the way I expected. My father didn't thank me. Instead, he said coldly, "That was reckless. You don't know what you're doing." My brother laughed. "You think you're some hero? You just wasted your savings on a lost cause." Their words cut deep, but I kept quiet. I wasn't looking for praise. I was trying to save what they couldn't. The weeks that followed were brutal: early mornings, sleepless nights, and long hours tending to every inch of the vineyard. I managed the harvest logistics myself, negotiated with distributors, and rebranded the product line. It wasn't easy, but I knew one thing. If I could just get through the upcoming Harvest Festival, the vineyard's biggest annual event, we could finally attract investors and stabilize everything. The festival wasn't just a celebration, it was our last chance to prove the vineyard was still alive. But my family didn't believe in me. They doubted my decisions, questioned every purchase, and told neighbors I was desperate to play businessman. I stayed silent, letting my actions speak louder than their mockery. When the Harvest Festival finally arrived, the vineyard looked beautiful. The lights strung between the vines glowed softly as the sun dipped below the hills. The scent of crushed grapes and oak barrels filled the air. Guests began to arrive, local buyers, old customers, and even a few wine critics. My parents smiled for photos, acting as though they had organized everything. I didn't mind, all I wanted was for the vineyard to survive. But then, during the main event, the moment that changed everything happened. The festival host, a well-known sommelier, took the stage to announce the new vintage, the one I developed under my management. "This year," he said, "the Cole Vineyard presents its new Legacy Reserve. A bold, refined blend unlike anything they've made before." The crowd applauded. My father stood beside him, ready to take credit, when the host continued, "And we owe it all to the vision and leadership of Nathan Cole, who personally financed and led the revival of this vineyard." The words hung in the air like a lightning strike. My parents froze, their smiles fading. The crowd turned toward me, applauding louder this time. Cameras flashed. For a moment, I saw a flicker of pride in my mother's eyes, quickly replaced by guilt. My father's expression was unreadable. My brother stood in the back, staring at me as if realizing for the first time what I had truly done. The truth had finally come out, not through my words, but through results. I hadn't exposed them to humiliate them. I had simply done what was right, and the world noticed. After the event, my father approached me quietly. "You could have told everyone before," he said bitterly. I looked at him and replied, "Would you have believed me?" He didn't answer. My mother hugged me, whispering, "We didn't deserve this." Maybe she was right. But it wasn't about deserving anymore, it was about rebuilding something worth saving. Within months, the vineyard flourished. Orders came in from new buyers, articles featured our comeback story, and investors lined up. The same people who once called me reckless now praised my strategic vision. I never reminded my family of their words or how they treated me. I didn't need to. Every time they walked through those healthy green rows of vines, they knew whose sacrifice made it possible. My revenge wasn't loud or cruel, it was quiet and complete. I had saved the vineyard, proven my worth, and let the truth speak for itself. And sometimes, that's the best kind of revenge, the one that doesn't need to be shouted, because success already said everything.